Hi all, Moin away from Bakirgin as always and as usual. Yeah, you can tell what time it is. It's another rotten egg video. It took me a while to record this. I didn't record this right away. This is an incident, so to speak, that occurred around May the 16th or May the 17th. So that's like mid last month, mid-May. We're already in June, obviously. So like 3 weeks ago approximately. Now, this is a guy that did a testimonial on me. I think he's the second guy. The first guy was a guy by the name of Curtis. Now, in any case, it's David Bradshaw. I'm gonna try to keep it as short as possible. Really long story short, I have known David Bradshaw for what? How many years? Ever since 2019, I think, something along those lines. So that makes it 5 years, like half a decade. David Bradshaw, people that follow me, they've already seen him commenting on occasion in the past and whatnot and related. I also did a video on him called Nut Job. In any case, he was a total mess before my help, serious help at least. And he was like completely mentally broken to the point where he was borderline insane, bluntly put, and it just goes on, so on and so forth. Now, for him, the breakthrough came when when I told him that I'm essentially one step away from blocking him. I already had blocked him back in the day when I live streamed in 2019, when I like live stream every day. And the guy, as whacked out of his mind as he is, like most occult freaks out there, he creates other email addresses and then tries to rejoin the conversation and so on and so forth. He's anything but the only one, honestly. So that already says how mentally disturbed these kind of individuals are. But again, the normal people, nothing that they don't know already. Now, I essentially told him that, hey, listen, I know something to help you out, but you need to be serious. Otherwise, literally do not contact me anymore. He actually put his faith in me and he paid me literally every dime he had. I didn't ask for it. He literally paid me every bit of money he had. And I knew it because I could easily sense it. And I helped him out and he became better, like a lot better. Mental health improved by like 60%, 65%, 70%. And financial income improved by like 150%, or at the very least 50%, but not like almost twice as much. It just goes on, all of that over the span, or in the span of like less than a year, half a year or so. And he was really grateful and helpful and whatnot, and things finally went better in his life, other than bluntly put the steaming pile of shit that his life was at that point before me, before my help in particular. And again, like I said, that help was what, like a year ago, something along those lines, half a year ago. Now, the reason I have decided to sever ties with him, or I decided to do so in the aforementioned date, or on the aforementioned date, so mid last month, is for something that you can view in the description of this video itself. I repeat, check the description of this video, the link you'll see there. You'll see the last email conversation I had with him after I banned him. Long story short, he did something that he's not the only one that did it, but again, I banned the others as well that did stuff like that. He was nonchalant and he simply displayed very unpleasant behavior. But again, he's anything but the only one. Over the course of my career, I want to say that it's almost commonplace in terms of me having to deal with this stuff on occasion. With this level of negativity, to me, it's not a big deal. I deal with it. But that doesn't obviously make it any less severe in a manner of speaking, metaphorically speaking. Now, long story short, he said that he was going to order something. I was like, okay, through WhatsApp. And again, it reminds me of people in the third world, so-called people. He said, okay, I'm going to order something coming Friday. I'm like, okay. Friday comes around, I'm like, I didn't hear anything from you. Like nothing, no, not a peep, not a sound, nothing. Yeah, no, we'll most likely do it after the weekend, Monday, Tuesday. I'm like, okay, fine. Surprise, surprise. Not to me though, obviously. Anything but a surprise to me. That time comes around again and nothing again. And then when I ask him for the second time, he says, yeah, no, I'm not sure. We'll do it some other time, but I'm not sure if that's really what I want, but we'll do it some other time. And I explained to him, now listen, you see what I'm talking about. This is essentially you being unreliable and wasting my time. because it's like you're leading me on to the point where it almost comes off to me that I have to essentially beg for what, you placing an order that you want to place, and it just pisses me off the way it would any person. It makes it immediately come off, not come off, it immediately signals to any person that you're unreliable, that you're nonchalant, and that you can't keep your word. I mean, common sense tells you that you need to be straightforward. If you're even remotely unsure, then literally say that. Voice your intent and voice your intentions and what you have in mind overall. But again, this is a typical lax mentality that unfortunately a good deal of people in this world have. And it's usually always the downtrodden ones, because no normal level-headed person will actually like do something like this. No, no. I mean, seriously, this accounts for any operation, any agreement. I mean, whether it is business or recreational or otherwise. Imagine if you had, for example, a friend, you're going to go out to dinner, and that friend says, sure, I'll be back, I'll be by in an hour. Of course, an hour goes by, friend doesn't show up. You call the friend in an hour and a half. Friend says, oh no, something came up, hold on, I'll get back to you in like a couple of hours. Okay, couple of hours swing by again, still nothing, obviously. And then you call the friend, and the friend says, oh no, I changed my mind, I'm not going to do this thing anymore, maybe some other time. Any person that's watching this, you would want to tell that friend to fuck off and piss off and everything else in between, wouldn't you? As in, don't contact me anymore. End of story. Unfortunately, a lot of people in the world are like this. And like I already said earlier, they're not exactly the most respectable people in society, to say the least. A lack of punctuality, just nonchalance, a lack of overall merit in their character, overall in mannerisms. And of course, as is typical of weak people or people like that, they will never take accountability for their own actions. They'll just come up with excuses and come up with, try to find a scapegoat, someone to blame or something to blame. It always goes on. Okay. Anyways, that's what happened with this guy. And I told him, listen, no. I already warned you. Let me keep a really long story short for you. We're done. You're banned for life as a customer. I don't want your money. I don't want anything to do with you. No. You're done. Get lost. Famous. Farewell. Piss off. And then you can see the so-called follow-up in the so-called conversation linked in the description of this video, in which he sent me through the contact form on my website an email saying how he's sorry, etc., etc. And oh boy, to add insult to metaphorical injury, he essentially says something to the extent of, I'm so sorry, please don't ban me, but in case you do ban me, do you happen to have the contact information of the Polish guy that you featured on your channel, because I really need a magician, and thank you. And yeah, my response, again, I'm not going to say anything. My response is right there in said file. I don't have to point out how laughably offensive this is. I was literally with my cab driver, typical hillbilly Indian third world guy. I told the guy, what was his response? What the fuck? What the fuck is wrong with the guy? Is he insane? I'm like, see, it's adding insult to injury, isn't it? He was like, yeah. I was like, imagine if I didn't want to drive with you anymore, I tell you, or you didn't want to drive with me anymore as a customer, and you told me, Moreno, listen, I don't want to do business with you anymore. Don't contact me ever again for a cab ride or anything like that. And then I'm going to say, no, pretty please, don't ban me, pretty please. But in case you're serious of banning me, do you know like another cab driver and his number, his contact information? I mean, like, I told my driver, if I were in your shoes, I would do this. I have a driver right here for you. And again, you need to be like next level stupid to not understand that this is insult to injury. And that's the only reason I graced him, to put it that way, with a response. But again, you can see the convo in the link in the description itself of this video. In any case, that is the story of how a customer became a rotten egg. He's not the first one. That is all, guys. Bye.